I call Jacinda Ardern. 5 minutes.
Mr Speaker, perhaps I shouldn't be surprised that government members in their contributions in this House on such a critical issue as the state of our correction services actually reference orange is the new black as part of their contribution to this debate. Now, perhaps I shouldn't have been surprised because, of course, this debate has been triggered by the emergence of what appears to be organised fight clubs, and not just the correction service, but explicitly within the Serco-run prison of Mount Eden. And this has been happening for some time, Mr Speaker. Fight Club is not new. We are now learning that a report was carried out within corrections some time ago, many months ago, and it was not acted upon. And when the Minister was asked why had he not acted upon this report, he simply said that he was not the Minister when it was first written, and therefore it was not his responsibility. I mean, that is almost as credible as having the Minister say first rule of Fight Club is don't talk about Fight Club. That actually would have been just as credible response, because we have a don't ask, don't tell response to the debacle that is occurring not in our correction service but in Serco-run prisons. In a Serco-run prison, and it is an important distinction to raise. I cannot let the Minister's speech go unresponded to. He laid out some particularly awful responses to Kelvin Davis's very legitimate speech in this House. Kelvin raised legitimate concerns, not just about Fight Club or the contradictions that have arisen since it's emerged. He raised concerns about assaults. He raised concerns about unrecorded incidents within Mount Eden. He raised concern about prisoners with significant injuries as a result of assaults being moved to other prisons to potentially stop them being recorded against Serco's record. And what was the Minister's response to those legitimate claims of concern? What was his response to the request from the member to simply investigate, as any minister doing their job should? Well, first he called it hearsay. Well, that was probably the response the first time Fight Club was raised as well. How do you prove something occurring within a prison? We are not there 24/7. We hear what we hear from staff, and then we ask the Minister to do the right thing and investigate. To have it called hearsay is simply irresponsible and avoiding doing his job. He then claimed that Kelvin Davis should put up or shut up. Well, Mr Speaker, the last time Labor raised concerns around Serco was when we had legitimate concerns raised by staff within that facility who said that Serco was understaffing the prison, that at times on a unit of 40 there would be one prison officer then in the security area and then one on the other wing. That is understaffing what is a critical part of the corrections service. Now, we raised that, Mr Speaker, and what happened as a result? Serco issued their staff with what could be only considered a threat, that any more concerns raised in the public would be clamped down on. So that's what happens, Mr Speaker, when this side of the House puts up. We told the government what was happening in this prison well over a year ago, and what happened? The staff got threats. So I say to that Minister, we have put up, it is now up to the Minister to respond. But what this side of the House will not do is put corrections office staff under threat or under risk by exposing them. Instead, it is our job to raise those issues, and it's our expectation that the Minister do something about it. Mr Speaker, our concerns around Serco are long-standing. It is not just a moral issue for us that prisons should be run by the state. If you remove the liberties of an individual, that should be the job of the state. Why should there be a profit motive in our prison system? But our response to privatisation has also been practical. Serco has an appalling record, appalling, in Australia and the UK, and yet this government's response has not only been to hand them Mount Eden, but to build one of the largest prisons in New Zealand and hand it to Serco to operate. They are now closing arms of regional prisons in order to make sure that Wiri is full so that they can fulfil their contract with Serco. It's appalling, it's shameful, and the Minister needs to do his job.
Sorry. I call the Honourable Anne Tolley.
And that member is absolutely wrong on every single count.